Wittman for any questions he may have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, we wish you, again, continued recovery from your surgery. I'd like to go through a series of questions just with your reflection and yes or no. Is it standard operating procedure for your security detail to notify in real time the National Military Command Center?
To my knowledge, my security detail does not notify the National Military Command Center of my work.
So it's not standard operating procedure for your security detail to notify the National Military Command Center?
That's right. So.
Okay. Well, if it's not standard operating procedure, and you said earlier that you have mechanisms built in to make sure that transference of power takes place from you to the Deputy Secretary, then how does your security detail then close the loop in getting information to the right place? And how is the decision made that the Deputy Secretary was then in charge?
Well, the decision is really about whether or not we've reached a point where I don't have the ability to continue to perform my duties because of lack of access to secure communications for a period of time. And that triggers the process that's established being followed, and that happened pretty quickly, and I think that they made the right decision.
So if it's not standard operating procedure then for your security detail to notify the National Military Command Center, which is the nexus for how information gets to the right place, so when issues of national security come up, the White House is informed because it's the National Military Command Center who's in charge of informing the White House. So that didn't take place according to you, and the standard procedure isn't there, and nobody in your office or your staff notified the White House, then how is it that people in critical decision-making positions then know when operational deficits take place, like you being in the intensive care unit that day and not being able to continue with your duties?
Again, by law, if I don't have the ability to execute my duties because of any reason, and in this case it was because of lack of access to secure communications, by law, the deputy assumes the roles and responsibilities.
Listen, I understand the law. The law is clear, but the law doesn't assure that there's continuity in operations and that people in critical positions know the current situation. So if something happens, the right decisions can take place in real time. The Deputy Secretary is in Puerto Rico. While she may have been advised or notified of a transference of responsibility, she stayed there, and it was a matter of if something really happened, was she in the right position to be able to do that? If the White House didn't know, the National Security Advisors didn't know, people in positions that would need to make decisions in case of, and we're glad that something didn't happen, but in case of, if that information isn't transferred, then there is indeed an issue of national security.
As I stated, there was never a lapse in authorities or command and control. And again, when the transfer is made, a message goes out to all the stakeholders that the transfer has been made, and so the communications specialists are positioned to route any incoming communications to the deputy that would have come to me. So.
Is it not correct, though, that the President should have known, that the National Military Command Center should have known, that the loop should have been closed, and making sure that everybody knew? The standard operating procedure should be that your security detail notifies the National Military Command Center.
The Joint Staff Chairman did know on the 2nd of January, and
Gentleman's time's expired. Chair, and I recognize the gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Norcross.